The YouTube Criminals Iceberg is an iceberg about YouTubers both big and small that have done terrible things outside of their YouTube channel life. These people didn't do anything tame like breaking or entering or stealing. These people committed some of the worst crimes a person can do and then a little more. For those of you that don't know what an iceberg is, it's a type of tier list. The more well-known things are at the top, and the deeper you go, the more obscure the names become. I'll be linking where I found the iceberg in the description below if you'd like to look into things yourself better. Also, before we get into the video, I would like to remind you guys that only 4% of y'all that are watching are subscribed, so if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I would very much appreciate it. Now, let's take a dive into the YouTube Criminals Iceberg together. Here we go. Elliot Rodger was born in Lambeth, London, England, and moved to the United States with his parents when he was 5 years old, where he was raised in Los Angeles. His father, British filmmaker Peter Rodger, is best known for working as a second unit assistant director for the first Hunger Games movie. Elliot had a somewhat normal childhood right up until his parents divorced when he turned 7 years old. After that, it was a downward spiral of jealousy and envy for others having what he doesn't that led him to committing the crimes he's known for. On May 23, 2014, in Isla Vista, California, Elliot Rodger killed 6 people and injured 14 others near the campus of University of California, Santa Barbara, before taking his own life. The attack began when 22-year-old Elliot Rodger stabbed 3 men to death inside his apartment. Afterwards, he drove to a sorority house and shot 3 female students outside, killing 2. He then drove to a nearby deli and shot a male student to death inside. He began to speed through Isla Vista, shooting and wounding several pedestrians and striking several others with his car. Rodger exchanged gunfire with the police twice during the attack, receiving a non-fatal gunshot to the hip. The rampage ended when his car crashed into a parked vehicle and came to a stop. Police found him dead in the car with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Before driving to the sorority house, Rodger uploaded to YouTube a video titled Elliot Rodger's Retribution, in which he outlined details of his upcoming attack and motives. He said he wanted to punish women for rejecting him and to punish sexually active men for living a more enjoyable life than his. After uploading the video, Rodger emailed a lengthy autobiographical manuscript to approximately a dozen acquaintances and family members. The document, which he titled My Twisted World, was made available on the internet and became widely known as his manifesto. In it, he described his childhood, family conflicts, frustration over not being able to find a girlfriend, his hatred of women, his contempt for racial minorities and interracial couples, and his plans for what he described as retribution. Elliot Rodger was a man that let his jealousy and hatred for others eat him up as he got older until he snapped. He was a man that theoretically had everything. He was rich and expected women to love him for his money, but when that wouldn't happen, he couldn't understand it and decided to commit his acts of murder. His channel was terminated, but you can still find re-uploads of his videos throughout the internet. His manifesto can be found with a quick Google search for those of you that are interested. Trey Sessler, better known as Mr. Anime, is an anime and film enthusiast who formerly reviewed anime on his YouTube channel. He's known for being one of the very first people to kickstart the anime community on YouTube and only stopped releasing reviews around March 2012 when he was arrested and sentenced to life in prison for murder. Not much is known about his early life, and in 2006 he started his YouTube channel where he was known to be a very blunt and straightforward guy, atypical to the people who mostly played a character in their videos at the time. At first, things were normal. He would review his anime videos and people would enjoy it. But as time went on, people started to notice he would drop little hints of information that was disturbing for some to hear. He mentioned how he did research on serial killers in his spare time, and even made a few videos showing off the guns he'd collected. Nothing was inherently wrong with this, but the outcome that is about to happen surely tells people that there is more than meets the eye. In February 2012, Trey said he was gonna take a break to reward himself for all the hard work he's done on YouTube. However, on March 20th, 2012, he shot and killed his parents and brother before heading off to Waller High School to commit a mass murder. His original plan was to kill at least 70 students at the school's pep rally in order to become the biggest mass murder in history, and claimed to kill his family to spare them from knowing what he was about to do. However, Trey stood down and returned home, where he was later arrested. People were shocked that Trey would do such a thing, and were in denial up until Trey admitted everything during an interrogation. His channel was recently terminated in late 2020, so the only way to watch his reviews are through re-uploads. He was sentenced to life in prison with no chance of parole, and is currently serving his time in Jester 4 Unit, a psychiatric facility with the most mentally ill and violent prisoners in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. Randy Stair, also known as Pioneers Productions and Ember's Ghost Squad, was a YouTuber who shot and killed 3 of his co-workers at his job at Weiss Market before killing himself. Randy Stair had been making YouTube videos as far back as late 2009, with his content not leading to any success no matter what he tried to do. He tried doing skits, he tried streaming, he tried let's plays of games like Slender and Amnesia, and even shot a music video for a local band. Nothing was sticking for him, and as time went on, he started to show cracks of his sanity slowly slipping away. In 2016, he started going under the moniker of Ember's Ghost Squad and uploaded videos of a custom character based off Ember McLean from Danny Phantom. Things were clearly not looking good for Randy, and soon enough he started making entire videos explaining his plan to shoot up the marketplace that he works at with disturbing detail. He claimed that killing his co-workers would lead him to peace living in an animated world that he had imagined. On June 8th, 2017, during the closing of Weiss Market, he blocked off the exits as he worked before going around and killing 3 of his co-workers with a shotgun. He then made his way to the deli market of the store and killed himself. On that very day, however, he released a video called Westboro High Massacre, a 43-minute video full of the Ember's Ghost Squad characters that he made committing mass murder in a high school. There are many uploads of his videos throughout YouTube that go into much deeper detail than this one, and are a very disturbing look into a man that had clear mental issues and had no way of getting the help he needed. Trevor Heitman, better known as McSkillet, was a very popular gaming YouTuber who made videos primarily about the game Counter-Strike Global Offensive. He had made a multitude of videos on the game, ranging from leaked gun skins to top 10 lists, and amassed a following of over 700,000 subscribers. He was doing great for himself on YouTube, but behind the scenes couldn't have been further from the truth. On August 23, 2018, Trevor was killed in a car crash after going over 100 miles per hour on the wrong side of the highway, killing himself and the occupants of the other car, a 43-year-old mother and her 12-year-old daughter. His death was ruled as accidental as there was no blood or drugs to be found in his system. It was reported that 5 days earlier he started having a meltdown which led up to the incident. His channel's videos are still up for people to watch, with most of the comments mocking his death due to killing 2 random innocent people in the process. This was shocking to me personally because I liked his videos a lot back then, and when I found out he died and took 2 people with him, there was a sense of sadness and disgust, and we can only hope that the family he killed was able to settle out of court and find peace after what he did. Nazim Sabs, also known as Nazim Agdam, was a former YouTuber who made videos promoting veganism and bodybuilding. She is best known not for her videos, but for shooting up the YouTube headquarters on April 3rd, 2018. Nasim was an aspiring YouTube personality who was doing a pretty decent job for herself, as before her channel got terminated off the site she had 2 channels at 11,000 subscribers apiece. She lived with her grandmother in Riverside County, California, and had a couple of her videos go viral on Iranian social media, leading to her growth. On March 31st, 2018, she was reported missing by her family, and on April 3rd, 2018, she stormed YouTube's headquarters with a gun, injuring 3 people before taking her own life. The motive behind her attack was revealed to be her displeasure with YouTube's policies and for being demonetized on all 4 of her channels. She had no way of making income anymore and felt YouTube was forcefully silencing her because of her veganism and got very angry because of that. After the incident took place, all her Google and YouTube accounts were terminated, along with her Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. You can still view some of her social media pages through the Wayback Machine. Carl Harold was a man who ran a YouTube channel where he made tutorials for complicated coding techniques and computer coding in general. There was nothing inherently wrong when you take a look at his channel. You don't see any questionable content or weird video titles. All his videos were just coding tutorials for any outsider looking in. However, it's his personal life that makes him such an evil person. On November 13th, 2013, Carl and his partner Charles Dunavant were arrested and charged with making child abuse and many other related crimes. The child was said to be a psychiatric hospital patient and suffered from a mental condition so severe it affected his memory and the way he perceived events. On November 4th, 2014, it was reported that Carl had hanged himself while awaiting extradition. His channel is still up on YouTube as of this video, and it's very strange to see a channel dedicated purely to helping others coming from a man who did what he did. Austin Jones is a former musician who got their big break on YouTube, garnering over 500,000 subscribers on his channel. Things were looking good for him, a successful YouTube channel and a budding music career, but this all came crashing down in May of 2015. On May 10th, 2015, a report came out that Austin had contacted multiple underage fans and persuaded them to twerk on video for him, giving them directions on how to do so, all while being recorded. He released a video called Setting the Record Straight, in which he admits to doing so, denying that there was any nudity involved and that he never recorded any of the interactions. Austin went on with his life and so did the people watching the situation. However, things weren't over just yet. On June 12, 2017, Austin Jones was arrested on 2 counts of producing. Both cases involved Austin asking underage female fans to make sexually explicit videos of themselves for him. He was placed under house arrest and pled guilty to a single count of and was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison. As of this video, he is currently incarcerated at Federal Correctional Institution Loretto near Loretto, Pennsylvania. He is scheduled to be released on December 31st, 2027. Alyssa DeVault, a YouTuber who made makeup tutorials and general beauty content, was convicted of murder after killing 2 of her newborn babies. In 2017, she gave birth to a baby girl in her home and discarded her in the trash shortly later. She did the same exact thing a year later with a baby boy. She was eventually caught in 2018 and on November 5th, 2020, was sentenced to 40 years in prison without parole. The prison she is currently at is unknown. Class It Up 10, better known as Jared Lee Lochner, is a convicted mass murderer in the January 8th, 2011 Tucson shooting, in which he shot U.S. Representative Gabby Giffords and killed 6 people, including Chief U.S. District Court Judge John Roll and a 9-year-old girl, Christina Taylor Green. Jared grew up as a normal child before having a personality shift sometime around 2006 when he dropped out of high school. He was said to be a heavy drug user and did a multitude of drugs, such as cocaine, LSD, and salvia. He was said to quit his drug use in 2008 but still used marijuana from time to time. He was suspended from college in late 2010 after acting very erratic multiple times, with people fearing for his mental health. On January 8th, 2011, Jared made his way to a Safeway supermarket where Representative Giffords was holding a meeting and fired upon her at close range, critically injuring her and killing 6 others. He was arrested and sentenced to life plus 140 years in prison. As of this video, he is currently incarcerated at Federal Medical Center Rochester. His channel is still up on YouTube, giving people a glimpse into the mind of a mass murderer. Big Money T, better known as Trent Pascal, is a 48-year-old man who killed his wife Savannah Pascal and posted a video on YouTube moments before the killing took place. In the video, he apologizes to his children and tries to justify his future actions by accusing Savannah of infidelity. He then cuts himself off and runs off somewhere to hide. And court documents show that he hid in the shower to ambush his wife as she got home, meaning he finished recording the video mere moments before killing her. He is currently awaiting trial for murder. Natural Selector 89, better known as Pekka Erik Avainen, was a Finnish school shooter and mass murderer who was responsible for the Jokela High School massacre on November 7, 2007. Avainen was a shy student who isolated himself from others and was a known target of frequent long-term bullying. He started to display a change in his behavior, and one of his teachers recalled they had an interest in both radical far-left and radical far-right movements. His parents tried to get him help for his anxiety and depression by sending him to a psychiatric clinic, but was given antidepressants instead of being hospitalized. The Amazing Atheist had made videos about Avainen's channel Natural Selector 89, stating that he was up to no good and that authorities needed to step in. Unfortunately, nothing happened, and on November 7, 2007, Avainen would head to his high school and kill 8 people with a handgun before killing himself with a gunshot to the head. Plasma Master Don, also known as Donzel Edwards Owens Jr., was an elderly YouTuber who made a multitude of videos, ranging from vlogs to song covers, which garnered him over 500,000 subscribers at his peak. Things were looking good for Don, until a video posted on December 11, 2020 by YouTuber Nick Crowley showed that Don had been arrested and convicted for sexual imposition of an underage boy. Soon after the video came out, people lambasted Don, and even today the comment section is full of messages against the man. On December 21st, 2020, only 10 days after Nick's video came out, Plasma Master Don passed away due to a lengthy illness. It was a strange mix of emotions because Don had been a proven sexual predator, but to a certain level it's sad knowing that the entire internet hated him in his very last days alive. What looked to be a wholesome old man was a much darker person that was exposed for what he had done. Not so fantastic Devin, better known as Devin Erickson, is an associate in the STEM school Highlands Ranch shooting, in which he and Alec McKinney shot up their school in retaliation for the bullying they went through. One person was killed, and 8 others were injured in the shooting. Devin claimed that Alec had forced him into the shooting after threatening him over Snapchat. As of this video, Alec has been sentenced to life in prison, and Devin is still awaiting a sentence. Devin's channel is still up on YouTube, with the only videos being 3 live streams of Dead by Daylight. William Atchison, better known as Vance Stone, was the YouTuber who created simulations of real-life tragedies on his YouTube channel, amassing over 3,000 subscribers at its peak. He was remembered as a quiet kid with a stutter in high school and worked a job at a gas station. His online behavior was described as very toxic by some people. In early 2017, he expressed dismay with YouTube taking down some of his videos due to a change in their rules, as well as general dismay for internet censorship in general. On December 7th, 2017, William made his way to his old high school, Aztec High, and proceeded to shoot 2 students dead before committing suicide. I do warn you to be careful when looking up this case, as the photos of the crime scene are easy to find on the internet. William's channel has since been terminated from YouTube, with re-uploads being the only way to watch his content. Bob8466 was a 15-year-old boy named Carter Boyles, who came close to committing a school shooting at Jefferson High School before being talked down and taking his own life shortly after. His most popular video is one where he shoots a bottle with Hillary Clinton's face on it with a crossbow. Not much is known about his life other than on his now terminated YouTube channel, he would play lots of video games committing mass murder, such as in Grand Theft Auto 5 and Postal 2. There are a few re-uploads of his videos on the site, but they are rather hard to find considering his channel was never archived properly by anybody. Deploys Insane was a 17-year-old boy named Guillermo Tauchi Montiero, who along with his friend Luis Henrique de Castro, shot up their old high school, the Professor Raul Brazil State School. The two had been bullied before during their time at the school, with Guillermo dropping out because of it in the previous year. They killed a total of 8 people, 1 person on the way to the school and 7 at the school, before committing suicide together. The only video on Guillermo's channel is a video of them practicing with the bow 5 days before the attack began, with the bow being seen in a footage of the shooting. Tony48219 was a 28-year-old man named Anthony Powell who cycled through a multitude of channels and suspensions due to the kind of content he was posting on his channels, which revolved around hating black women and atheists during the 2 years he was on YouTube. His subscribers noticed his worsening mental state and were concerned that he was a danger to himself and others after mentioning that he owned a shotgun. On April 10, 2009, Anthony entered Henry Ford Community College where he was a student and shot and killed fellow YouTuber Asia McGowan with his shotgun before taking his own life. Anthony's channel is gone from YouTube with re-uploads being the only way to find his content, and Asia's channel is still up, giving people one last look at the life of another human being. Nizamul Khan is a YouTuber convicted of murdering his girlfriend's brother, Kamal Sharma, due to him being against their relationship. Nizamul was able to attract almost 1 million subscribers with his motorcycle stunt videos on YouTube. Nizamul ambushed Kamal on his way home after work, shooting him from behind before speeding off. At first, officers assumed it was a case of road rage until finding the bullet, and they soon dug up evidence showing that Nizamul paid 2 of his friends that helped with the crime. Nizamul is currently awaiting trial, and his channel is still up as of this recording. It's strange to see somebody throw away such a successful and popular YouTube channel over something as petty as girlfriend issues. Humpska86 was a 22-year-old man named Mati Juhani Sari, who on September 8, 2008, carried out the Kauhoki school shooting, killing 10 people before shooting himself in the head, later dying in a nearby hospital. The name Wumpska was taken from a German electro music project, which referred Sari in the intro of one of their projects, Fuck It. Sari's channel has since been terminated off YouTube for over a decade now, but there's an archive site showing what it looked like, and people that commented below referenced the shooting, meaning it wasn't long after that YouTube took it down. Alex Bisonnet is the man behind the Quebec City mosque shooting, in which he killed 6 people after opening fire on them in a prayer hall on January 29, 2017. He was sentenced to life in prison on February 8, 2019, with no possibility of parole for 40 years. His sentence was reduced to no possibility of parole for 25 years on November 26, 2020, with Quebec prosecutors currently trying to reinstate his original sentence with an appeal to the Supreme Court of Canada. His channel is currently still up on YouTube, with his most popular video being about the Ice Bucket Challenge. A video of a man who showed no violent tendencies and ended up carrying out one of the most violent shootings in Quebec's history. Vucko0064, better known as Eric Frayne, is the man who is behind the 2014 Pennsylvania State Police barracks attack. Eric had been to jail before for burglary and served 109 days in a county jail in New York before posting his only 2 videos to his channel years later, both being recreational military simulation style videos. He had a great disdain for law enforcement as early as a teenager, and took it out on them on September 12, 2014, when he shot 2 officers during a shift change, killing one of them and seriously injuring the other. This led to a 48-day manhunt that concluded on October 30th, when he was arrested in an abandoned airfield. Eric was sentenced to death by lethal injection on April 27, 2017, and is currently sitting on Pennsylvania's death row. MOSB46PGH was better known as George Sodini, the man behind the LA Fitness shooting on August 4th, 2009, in which he entered an LA Fitness and killed 3 people before taking his own life. He only has 2 videos on his YouTube channel, one talking about his struggles in finding a woman to love, and the other showing off his house with mentions of a woman maybe enjoying how it might look. There's a weird sense of eeriness watching his videos. He had a pretty good life looking from the outside in, but not finding someone to share it with is what led to his downfall. Big Slims was an 18-year-old Minecraft YouTuber named Vladislav Rozyakov, who was behind the Kerch Polytechnic College massacre. He went around the college shooting at whoever he came across, killing 20 people and injuring over 70, and took his own life in the school library. There was a nail bomb set off by him as well, with police claiming they deactivated more explosives on campus during the massacre. It was the largest attack in a school in the Soviet Union since 2004. The channel just has 1 video on it of Vladislav playing a game of Minecraft Skywars at the age of 14. Who would expect that a person behind a simple Minecraft video would be responsible for one of the worst school shootings in history? Boots666 is the alternate account of the channel Boots Made for Crushing. Boots Made for Crushing on the surface look like a normal channel, with a guy stepping on things which is boots, like a toy truck for example. Boots666 led to a Tumblr page that had unlisted Boots Made for Crushing videos in which the person would crush live animals such as frogs and snakes. As of today, both channels have since been deleted, with all the videos hopefully gone for good. But you know the internet, once it's on there, it's never coming off. Jared Miller was the man behind the 2014 Las Vegas shootings, in which he and his wife Amanda Miller shot and killed 3 people before killing themselves. Both Jared and Amanda held anti-government beliefs and were convinced that starting a shooting would start some sort of revolution. They first shot 2 officers in a CC's Pizza before heading to a Walmart, killing another person inside who was trying to put a stop to their reign of terror. They were eventually cornered by the police and killed themselves while being held at gunpoint. Jared's channel is still up and is mostly full of cat videos, a far cry from the kind of person that people would expect him to be. Nikos Metaxas is the man behind the Mitsero murders, in which he killed 7 women on the island of Cyprus between September 2016 to August 2018. The investigation started when a body was found after particularly heavy flooding, which prompted the police to investigate further. They found incriminating messages on the phone between Nikos and the victim, and soon after arresting him, he helped them track down a few more bodies, in total 5 women and 2 girls, both which were daughters of 2 of the women he killed. He was handed 7 life sentences and is the first case of a serial killer in Cyprus's history. His YouTube channel consists of him making Photoshop tutorials, and is still up as of this recording. Reflay, better known as Stas Reflay, is a former YouTube streamer who accidentally killed his girlfriend after leaving her out in sub-zero temperatures after a fan donated $1,000 to leave her on the balcony of their apartment. He had been abusing her on stream for his fans to watch for months now, with notable cases being when a friend broke a plate over her head and him pepper spraying her for the viewers to watch. The final livestream of his girlfriend's murder is available on the internet to watch, but I do warn you as it is pretty disturbing. Reflay tries to wake her up and starts to slowly realize that she's not breathing and has no heartbeat. Reflay is currently awaiting trial, and his YouTube channel has since been terminated, with re-uploads of his streams scattered about the web. That is all of the YouTube Criminals Iceberg. This one caught my eye in particular just because I find it so strange that there are videos of criminals out there on YouTube, and these were some of the few that people were able to link together. Who knows how many other criminals there are on this site? Like with Big Slims, are there any other Minecraft YouTubers that went off the deep end and committed mass murder? We may never know, but we may also find more criminals with a little bit of digging and a lot more research. I want to know which person interested you guys the most. For me, I would have to go with McSkillet. I used to watch his videos all the time when I was younger when I used to play CSGO a lot. Anything from leaked skins, opening up cases, whatever he posted, I would watch. And now knowing that he went out the way he did was so awful to hear about, because he took 2 other people with him. And I really hope that the victims' families are doing okay for themselves now, or at least found peace with it. Make sure to tell me yours in the comments below. I also have a Discord server for those of y'all who are interested in joining. It's just me talking around, chatting, playing games, you know, Discord stuff. The link will be in the description below, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you for watching this video. I absolutely love making these iceberg videos, and I hope that I can make more time to make even more in the future. Make sure to like and subscribe, and as always, with all of that out of the way, I will see you guys later.